What's up, guys? How's it going? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about vibe coding. What is it? So I've been searching around YouTube and I see this phrase called vibe coding, and there's a video that talks about using AI as just the primary source for building a project from start to finish. And all you would need to do is tell it exactly what it needs to build, and it should be able to do it. And any error that it finds, it should be able to solve it. And you don't really have to look at the changes that happen in the files and all that stuff that it creates. All you would do is just accept it and just keep prompting and try to solve any issues that comes with it. That sounds great, sounds cool, but I already see a bunch of issues with this thing already. All right, and it's not perfect. Vibe coding could have its benefits, but then also there's definitely a lot of negatives with it. All right, so I'm gonna talk about the benefits of vibe coding and some of the problems that I have been seeing based off of the videos that I've been watching. All right, so the benefit is that if there is a project that you need to get up and running relatively quickly, you can use AI to do all that stuff for you. Right, you can use Windsurf, which is a AI assisted IDE made by Codium that allows you to prompt AI a question and then tell it to whatever, build a project in whatever language that you choose. It's going to create all those artifacts and resources that you need to get the project up and running. It's very cool. I've used Windsurf just for a little bit, and I'm actually going to pay for their pro service so that I actually have more credits to really see what the benefits are using Claude and build a project from start to finish. All right, so if you want to get a project up and running and you don't really want to go through the whole thing of creating the project, getting all the resources already set up, and then doing all the coding on your own, then vibe coding might work for you. Another thing is that you can solve a lot of problems a lot faster. So if you get problems within your project, all you have to do is copy and paste the error that happens and prompt it, and then AI should be able to solve that problem, understand what's going on, and then fix the files that needs to get fixed to get rid of that issue. Right, and then you could review the project, make sure everything is working fine, and just keep iterating and adding more into your project. I see that being a good benefit for any experienced developer trying to figure out what the problem is and then also how to solve it. And then without having to really look at those changes, you just accept it and that's it. As an experienced developer, I don't think that's cool. I think you should always look at the differences between what AI is generating versus what you would write, because you're going to run into issues, right? So I'll get into that a little bit later. But as a beginner, someone who's building a simple project, in terms of prompting whatever the errors are and having AI solve it is a game changer. Also, learning how to code is definitely a big factor there as well. So you could prompt AI to help you with coding, and it will give you all the files that it wrote out, just to get the project up and running. And then all you could do is you could review that code. You can see if there's any issues with it. You could ask it to explain some of the functions that are in the code, like what the actual components are doing, really break down exactly what's going on within those files. And it would give you a detailed explanation. At least that would help you understand exactly how the project was architected and what route AI went. So there's some benefits there. At least you would, instead of having to Google things, you would get a full prompt explanation in terms of what's going on, right? So it's super simple, super easy to use, and it's relatively quick. If people are vibe coding and they're accepting everything that AI tells it, experienced developers are going to have more opportunities. They're going to have more opportunities to fix that broken code and actually set up a standard to not have it happen again, or train other developers and people on a team to use AI more effectively to their advantage, instead of just using it to just build everything out from scratch. Now, here's where using vibe coding is going to be an issue for you, all right? Here are the potential problems and the risks that it can have. Now, just accepting code that's being prompted by AI just to get a project up and running, you might run into a lot of issues with errors showing up. You're prompting that to fix those errors, and now you're running into an infinite cycle of the problem not getting solved. And you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be annoyed that it can't solve this problem. So just accepting whatever code is given to you is going to cause a lot of problems. All right, I'm just telling you that right now. Also, any third-party libraries that are introduced into your project to get it up and running. If AI is not really good at looking into whether a particular third-party library is credible, you're going to run into some issues in terms of security. If a third-party library hasn't been updated in a year or so, I would take it as a grain of salt, right? I wouldn't even introduce that library into your project, because now you're introducing a potential security risk to others if you were to push this out into production, all right? Out this for anybody to see. If that's the case, then you really have to ask it, like, is my project secure? Seeing what's going on there, then you should be in a good spot. But if it introduces libraries that are at a potential risk, that's going to be an issue. So if you're vibe coding, you need to make sure that everything is secure, it's clean, and you won't run into any potential issues once you release that project into the public. You're going to be more frustrated because AI could be hallucinating at times. You prompt it to solve a problem, it gives you a solution to that problem. Now you're seeing that you can't really use the page or the project that you're working on, and you're asking what happened here. Now you're going back and forth with AI, and it's hallucinating and it's not giving you the right answer. So usually the solution to this problem is starting a whole new prompt and then prompting the same question over and over again so you get the right answer. But ultimately, you might run into the same issue and you got to start from scratch. So you have to understand that if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to code, these are the issues that you're going to run into. And then the last thing is, as an experienced developer, I always review my code. I always make sure that it's the right code that needs to go into a project before it goes out into production. By you just accepting everything, I think that's bad. That's not going to help you become better as a developer as well, because you're going to just over rely on AI to do all the heavy lifting for you. So at least having someone that's experienced or being experienced as a developer to understand what kind of code the AI is writing, and then understanding the file structure and everything else is going to help you actually solve the problem easier without having to rely on AI too much. The goal of this is just to use AI to help you get a project up and running, and actually understand and enhance your knowledge on these particular areas that you want to learn. AI is not at that point yet to where it's perfect with this coding. It's good, don't get me wrong. You could learn a lot, you could build a lot of things a lot faster. But at the end of the day, you're going to need to learn the foundations. The fundamentals is going to take you so much further than just getting everything prompted to you. All right. So that's my take on vibe coding. At the end of the day, it is good to get everything up and running at a faster rate, to learn if you really want to analyze and understand the code. But just accepting everything that is written by AI is not the way to go yet. Until we get an actual use case for every single area of coding to where it's beneficial and it actually does a great job, then I would say don't vibe code yet. But if you want to learn from your mistakes, it's probably a good thing that you do it as well. So, I mean, there's many different routes you could go with this. Try vibe coding out, see if it's a good fit for you, if you're learning a lot, if you are running into a lot of mistakes with it, and just, trial and error. Use it, prompt it different things, and hopefully it will get you to the end goal that you need. Ultimately, it is up to you what you want to do and how you're going to be using AI to enhance your learning. All right. So that's it, guys. That's the video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you're using vibe coding right now, if you see any potential issues with it, if there's any benefits. If you need any help with reviewing your projects and all that stuff, you can reach out to me at thefullstackbro@gmail.com. We can schedule a call. All right. Talk soon.